basement. Level vibes with another one. Straight up. Blackness, aye. Who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, I do it for the love, him not do it for no money. Straight up, him attack, educating everybody. Big up my friends and big up my family. Turn on the radio, catch the vibes, it's integrity. Straight up, Benskop stands for unity. One people, one nation, one destiny. Free up the truth in the air, even the blind can see. The deaf can hear, the dumb can talk, the cripple can walk. Boom. Who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, we have to gather round, grab a seat and sit down, pay attention. Education, liberation.
Yeah, my name is Jacinty Caldata from City, Vietnam, and since 1965 I become a voter, and I always place my ex next to the cop, and what they are doing today, I can't take it. So I have no more vote to give to PPP anymore. I'm not going to vote anymore no more. If they have to lose by one vote, they're losing it by data.
Irrigation system in this community is better. It's better today because you have a government who already.
Oh, Jesus Christ, if cost of living double, I don't know what happened. A pound of sugar is $300 already. Flour, everything gone up. Everything just raising. You gotta get about $40,000 for buy good ration. You gotta get 3 man now. A weekend man, a monthly man, and a fortnight man.
So it's in the rice price.
The rice price, something to do, they're going to start doing it, man, somebody. They're not talking to why they're going to tell why nothing. And you come out, people every week, okay.
London, make some noise! London, if you love me, make some noise!
Nana out there, no end. Nana out there, no end.
Straight up, people, if you love me, make some noise. Well, guess who is back tonight? Guess who? It's 8 minutes after 9 o'clock, and I'm back tonight. I'm ready to rock and roll. I'm counting the days before elections. As you guys know, in Guyana, there will be elections on September 1st. How many of you are prepared to vote? Make some noise. How many of you got your ID cards? Make some noise. How many of you are doing it because you want a real change in Guyana, not an exchange from corruption to corruption and from one set of vagabonds to another set of vagabonds? Make some noise. If you love Guyana, make some noise. If you love, just love, make some noise. If you're looking for love, make some noise. If you are going to be, this is August 9th, Shrimpy. Shrimpy is the first man that took a backyard party into a big club. And you know, Woodbine is a huge spot. It's a popular spot. And I may just head out there and just do my thing on the dance floor. You know, If you see me on the dance floor at Shrimpy Backyard Party at Woodbine Ballroom on the 9th of August, that is this weekend, make some noise, make some noise. Share the link. If you share the link already, make some noise. Come on, make some.
London, make some noise. London, if you love me, make some noise.
Make some noise for Sergeant. Look at the Sergeant. Police officers are getting bribes, election bribes, giving them promotion and all sort of things. Stripe, 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 take a stripe, take a stripe. This is a take a stripe corrupt administration. Take a stripe. Everybody they given a stripe. They saw somebody like me in Georgetown. They put on a uniform and they made me a sergeant. Take a stripe. The officers in the Guyana Police Force, most of them work hard. They deserve promotion. Not all can be promoted, if everybody get promotion, But this corrupt government, because they're afraid that they are going to lose the election, so unless they rig it, we know they are good at rigging elections. The PPPC, they are good at rigging elections. Do not be fooled. And all these officers taking swar, these policemen and women, some of them, they're taking swar, but not the one on the screen. This one here, this sergeant ain't taking no swar. He say he want no promotion. He want nothing from the corrupt regime. All he wants to do is to do his job. And because he said that, tonight I'm going to announce that this officer on the screen, that officer, that sergeant got transferred. He's now in Monkey Mountain. That is what's happening under the corrupt PPP regime. If you can't do what they say, if you can't protect them and their corrupt cabals, if you can't protect them and corrupt business people, we saw what happened. One particular quote-unquote business people now crying persecution. But when they were running the force and giving police gifts and money and all sort of things, they weren't crying persecution then. Now they're crying persecution. Every day some bacchanal. Y'all stay focused. Don't worry. These people and their friends and their bacchanal. Lemon, if you can remove that sergeant, you want no promotion, remove that sergeant. And let's hear from this other one here now.
My name is Linden Shaka Tukumbo Afro Wellington Bavians.
Bacchanal today, Linden Shaka Putungo, Puchinga, Putungo, Bedinga, Putungo, Begina. This is an elections you will never forget. Takupa, Tuchumi, Tutuma, Titina, Matina, Mana. All right, good night and welcome to Straight Up. My name is Mark Benja. Well, last evening I was away for good reasons, and Wayne Caesar took in and he just decided to do his thing. Thank you so much, Mr. Caesar, and for all of you who tuned in last night, tonight, and every single night. We appreciate all of you. You guys know that. Right? And some people have been talking about sanctions and sanctions and sanctions in August, and the sanctions coming and the sanctions. Do not be distracted. When the sanctions come, they come. Because sometimes you don't know when the sanctions slip up on you. It slip up on them, right? They don't know. It's somewhere in the Bible said, you know what? You know it not the hour? Oh, gosh. Can I get an amen there? If they're reverends and pastors, real ones who are watching, they might say, wait a minute. Ben Shap actually knows the scripture. No one know it the hour. And so with the sanctions, no one know it the hour. The sanctions will creep up. No one know it the hour. What is it? The extradition requests will sneak up. No one know it. But when they pop up, they pop up. That's all. And so the excitement over a week or 2 weeks ago, there will be sanctions. Oh, there will be sanctions. Oh, there will be sanctions. It's a form of distraction. Do not be distracted in these elections, guys. And I repeat, do not be distracted. They had sanctions the other day, creeped up. That's it. Nobody knew. Well, maybe just one or two or a couple, who knows. But since these guys have been sanctioned, Hemnat saw a senior policeman of the Guyana Police Force and a close individual close to the PPP, the corrupt PPP regime. And this senior officer is said to be close to drug lords, did drug dealings and all sort of things, facilitated. All these things Hemnat saw was actually sanctioned. A senior police officer of the Guyana Police Force was sanctioned. See, the minute I say, you know it not the hour, know it not the hour, I get reverends, I get pastors, I get apostle, I get everybody texting me just to say amen. Amen and amen. Matthew 24, verse 36, but of that day and hour no one knows, not even the angels of heaven, but my Father only. Can I get an amen for that? Oh, man. I don't know. Maybe I should start preaching in the church. Maybe. No one know at the hour. No one know at the hour. And so when the sanctions peep up on you again, be reminded of Matthew chapter 24, verse 6. But back to this corrupt PPP regime. How is it, I repeat, how is it that they're not talking about these sanctioned folks, whether their bank accounts have been closed? Now, you got to be fair across the board. If they're going to go after win candidates, all those who are associated with the sanctioned Mohammed, OFAC sanction, and OFAC is very serious, guys. Do not take things for granted. It is very serious. And these individuals, just like the Mohammeds, they were sanctioned by OFAC as well. And so the corrupt government of Guyana also have to focus on these sanctioned individuals. But they're not focusing on these people. We don't know whether the banks have closed all of these individuals' accounts. We don't know. We don't know whether the corrupt PPP regime is still doing business with these individuals. What we do know is that a lot of them have gotten contracts from the corrupt PPP regime. We know some of these folks are associated with ministers of the government. One particular guy, Mark Cromwell, also known as Demon, is associated with the Minister of Sports, Youth, Sports and Culture, and other senior ministers and officials of the PPP regime and senior police officers. We already know that. We know what these guys, Dabi and all of these guys, are about. But the PPP regime, and if I get closer to the mic, I want to whisper something to you in your ear. Not Neville Sitala. See Neville pull up for me to whisper in his ear. No. Brenda Biley, yes. Maybe Miss Booker, yes. And Minette and Mitchell and so forth. Yeah, but the next thing you know, I guess Selwyn Peters pulling up for me, whispering in his ear. No, not me. No, not me. I'm sorry. And so let me say this to you guys. Why is it that the corrupt PPP regime, do you guys want me to repeat? Why is it the corrupt PPP regime is so silent on one set of sanctioned people, but they are just after those people in blue who trying a thing? They're hustling. They're trying a thing. You can it's election time. They're going to try a thing. Right? They're trying a thing. But why is the corrupt PPP regime only focused on those sanctioned people, the Mohammeds and so forth? Why? And that they're not focused on these people too. Because all of them are affiliates or used to be affiliates. All of them are connected. And anyone that is connected to the PPP, they were sanctioned. The Mohammeds were connected to the PPP, they're sanctioned. The father, the son, they're sanctioned. OFAC sanctioned them. Their visa revocations, visa sanctions, and all manner of other sanctions. But isn't somebody asking Jack Deal at his so-called press conference about these sanctioned persons? Senior police officer Hemnat Saw, whether he's still a member, whether he is still a serving member of the Guyana Police Force? Don't you guys want to hear those sort of things? Or you just don't care? Which one? Don't you guys want to know that? Whether your tax dollars are still paying for that, that quote-unquote corrupt, that sanctioned policeman? That's what OFAC is saying. He has been sanctioned for being part of a drug trade. We're not saying that on 107.1 FM. The U.S. law enforcement agencies are saying that, not we. We are repeating. But Jack Dio and Irfan and those vagabonds, Mark Phillips and others in the PPP, they seem to be comfortable with these set of sanctioned persons. Hemnat Saw, Jack Dio and Irfan, and that vagabond in the Guyana Police Force, the Commissioner of Police, the PPP Commissioner of Police. He's not the Commissioner of Police of the Guyana Police Force. He's the PPP Commissioner of Police, Clifton Hicken. Can someone ask him, anybody, if Leroy Smith, Big Smith News, is watching, can Leroy Smith ask the Commissioner of Police what's the situation with the senior policeman, Hemnat Saw, who was sanctioned? What's going on with him, as we would say in Guyana? What's happening with him, as we would want to know? What is happening with him? Talk to us. We want to know. Is he still being paid? If so, why? Is he still on the job? If so, why is he still on the job? Has his bank accounts been closed as well? If not, why not? What about Randolph Duncan? Is he still doing business? Is he still dredging? What about the banks? These are questions that need to be asked. You're running after the blue guys, them, the Mohammeds, them, and who is, and fair enough. If they have to be sanctioned, and they were sanctioned, and according to OFAC rules, then why not the others? What about Paul Dabby? Is he junior? Is he still getting contracts from the government? Or has all of the contracts given to Paul Dabby suspended with immediate effect? What about Mark Cromwell, also known as Demon? Is he still getting money for gutter work and other work from the corrupt government of Guyana? If so, then why? Why? Come on. Those reporters in Guyana need to be asking these questions. We don't want when that guy pomposetting himself as a reporter. Y'all know his who. We don't call his name here. Just get a feather and tickle it and we gonna whistle. Asking questions that are dumb and obviously set up. People want to know the real issues. People want to know the real deal coming out of Guyana, not the real corrupt setup deals. Having said that, now, good night again to all of you who are now joining us. These sanctioned people, we want to know. The Guyanese population, I'm sure, also want to know what has happened to them. Is Hemnat Saw still on the payroll? What about this woman? All of them affiliated, the PPP sanctioned, every single one. You don't hear any of them from the opposition. Any member from the opposition has been sanctioned, you know. Not a single one. Not a single one. Some of them who ran over to the PPP maybe have been sanctioned, visa sanctioned, that is. Visa sanctioned. Some may be on the list. Maybe one or two who ran over to the PPP. As the Reverend would say when they're preaching, oh, okay, just don't say anything else. But what's going on with Mae Thomas? Hasn't she been sanctioned too by OFAC? She and the Mohammeds, all of them were sanctioned together. All of them were sanctioned together. Together, sanctioned. And so the PPP regime has to be reminded that every single person who have been sanctioned by OFAC and dozens of individuals who have had their visas revoked, senior policemen, businessmen, some government officials, are all PPP affiliates. They're not connected to the opposition. But these are the same vagabonds. After the 2020 elections, they were jumping up. Sanction and sanction and sanction and sanction. And you see what sanction come back and do? Haunting them right in front of their faces. And maybe there are more sanctions in the bag. Maybe. Maybe there are more visa revocations. Maybe there will be some extradition requests. I don't know. Maybe. All right, again, good night and welcome to Straight Up. If Hemnat Saw is watching, can Hemnat Saw, this is the policeman who was sanctioned. He received the sanction news the day after his birth anniversary. Hemnat Saw, I'm surprised that Irfan Ali didn't walk up and promote him, because you know how the corrupt PPP regime operates, right? They promote. They like corruption. They like corrupt people around them. They like smugglers. They've entertained smugglers around them for so many years. Whether you're smuggling oil, whether you're smuggling gold, whether you're shipping out tons and tons of cocaine out of Guyana, all manner of things. That's the PPP. That's their hallmark, corrupt individuals. Because that's how they live, by corruption. And with that same attitude, they are approaching GCOM again to corrupt the system, to rig the elections, to make sure that the results fall in favor of the corrupt PPP regime. That is what they want. And notice Jack Dale has been talking about a landslide. He likes that word slide, landslide. Everything for Jack Dale now is landslide. What landslide? The people of Guyana don't like you guys. The people of Guyana know that you guys are corrupt. The people of Guyana know that you guys are just about friends and families and favorites. F. The people of Guyana know that you guys are, I want to use the F word, are effing up the country. And when I say effing up the country, I really mean family, friends, and favorites. They're effing up the country. No other F being used tonight, because we're good people. And so when these vagabonds go about in your communities, pretending like they care, pretending like they're concerned about you guys, pretending that they want to do good, suddenly they want to do good, right? And now here's a question I have for Irfan Ali. A simple question. Suddenly, they had 23 years from 1992, October 5th, 1992, to September. And those of you who understand why I say September, you would know exactly why I say September. The tongue people are going to know September. September of 2050. What is it? 2015. From 1992 to 2015. How come they couldn't develop? They couldn't develop Guyana. They couldn't do the drainage. They couldn't do irrigation. They couldn't do the roads. During that period, check what the conditions of Linden Soesdijk Highway. Check the conditions of the roads. All over. If them in Bondong thing, they're corrupting. If them in forming death squads where businessmen now disguising themselves as politicians, some of them. They were all part and parcel of death squads and pooling up their money so that you could go out and kill phantom squads, and death squads could go out and kill citizens in Guyana. Now suddenly some of them are talking about persecution and fighting for justice. When hundreds upon hundreds of young men were murdered in that country, many of them were silent, they were complicit, they were in bed with the PPP, enjoying as blood was running throughout Guyana. Mothers were bawling out for justice. Wives were bawling out for justice. They didn't care then. And so when they come to you now, elections time, because some of them want to save themselves, suddenly the word justice is the order of the day. It's the new word for some of these vagabonds who were there while the people were being slaughtered in that country. People were being persecuted in that country. People were being jailed wrongfully in that country. Nobody cared. Joylin Cutting and others, Lynette Nelson and others, Shondell Dublin and others, nobody cared. But suddenly it's elections time. They're running to you and tell you they care. Some of them using Adriana Young situation in order to prop up themselves politically. We want justice for Adriana. Of course, all of us want justice for Adriana Young. All of us. She should get justice. All of us want justice for the hundreds of persons who were slaughtered, who were murdered in that country. Well, some of these same so-called business people were complicit. Some of them were pooling up their monies to hurt and harm the people of Guyana. Y'all better, as we say in Guyana, y'all better wake up and smell the coffee and do not be used by vagabonds. Because come elections day, after elections day, you think some of them were rushing up to you. Were rushing up to you, gonna care about you? Y'all, look. Y'all can't say me never did a warn y'all, right? Can't say me never did a warn y'all. Now suddenly, justice, everybody know. I remember those days, it was just a couple of us in the streets risking our lives. Some brothers were killed in that process. Ronald Waddle, killed under a corrupt PPP regime, and they were silenced. All across some so-called business people, the persecution of people in the country, they were silent. They didn't give a damn. They were enjoying the sweetness, the likes of the Mohammeds and all of them, enjoying the sweetness of the country, getting 83,000 acres of land. You think anybody care about y'all then? Y'all better turn to people who are there for y'all. Not no silent donor, they don't who donate this and donor. Y'all better turn to people who care about y'all. Otherwise, can't eat y'all dinner. Right? Do not be fooled, guys. Do not, I repeat, do not be fooled. Oh, gosh. Welcome back, right? 33 minutes after. 33 minutes after 9 o'clock. In case you're just joining for the first time and you probably want to know who is this guy that's on. Well, not that guy. That's actually not a guy. That's a hooligan. Well, my name is Mark Benchap, and welcome to Straight Up. Rhonda Lane, good night. And look, for those of you who are in the Den Amstel area, Rhonda Lane, and go soft while we change gear. Rhonda Lane has a nice little, the 9th annual Emancipation and Culture event. Rhonda Lane has that and group at Den Amstel Community Center. And it's just 700 Guyana dollars. 700 Guyana dollars is how much US? Y'all don't let Francine Cruz know. She might want to push your hand in the bingo bag. 700 Guyana dollars tickets. And I'm doing this now because I want you guys to go out, those of you who in Den Amstel, whether you're in Georgetown, whatever, and support our sister, Rhonda Lane. August 17th. We'll talk more about it. She's right there in the audience. Tickets are only $700. Y'all support Rhonda. Support those who support y'all. Support those who have been there for y'all. Support those who have been fighting for y'all. Don't support those who just pop up and want you to fight to save them. Read between the lines. Do not be used, guys. Do not be used. Just do not be used. I want to go to Linden, but I'm not going to Linden just yet. I'm not going to Linden just yet. Again, be careful. September 1st, elections around the corner. Oh, you be careful. Be careful. You can't say. Me never did I warn you with all of the corruptions and the complicit folks who were complicit in crimes, serious crimes and killings, the murdering of our youths in the country, the persecution of our people, the persecution of young men, the killings of young women. Because when Donna McKinnon was murdered in front of Freedom House, she was a young woman. She left behind about 5 or 6 kids. All of them adults now. You know, she left and she's gone. There was no justice for Donna McKinnon. There was no justice for all those people who were murdered under questionable circumstances, either by folks connected to the corrupt PPP regime or serving members of the Guyana police force who were in bed with drug lords, and they had their phantom squads and their killing squads, and those corrupt businessmen were pooling up their monies to hurt and destroy the country. How can you trust people who have assisted in destroying the country? How could you do that, guys? Wake up. There's a part in the Bible, and I'm trying to come to grip with this. Galatians, is it Galatians 6? Somewhere there, 7, verse 7 says, be not deceived. Can I get an amen? Be not deceived. God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, so shall he reap. So in other words, to cut it down, you reap at what you sow it. So if you sow Bora, what are you going to reap? You're going to reap Bora. If you sow Balanje, same time we mentioned Balanje. If you sow Balanje, it's Balanje you're going to reap. If you sow okra, it's okra you're going to reap. That's it. All right. What else is it that we can talk about? I want us to go to Linden. We might run to, I don't know why Lemon. And by the way, Lemon celebrated his birth anniversary yesterday. Yesterday was Lemon's birth anniversary. Can you take a time out to wish that little rascal? Some days he's on work, some days he's not at work, some days he's in Guyana. He's all over the place. But regardless of all, I think Lemon deserves a little happy birthday. Yeah, you can wish Lemon a little quick happy birthday, man. Make Lemon feel good by wishing Lemon a happy birth anniversary. Because they have some other things we want to talk about. I want to take you guys to Linden. All the way to Linden, I'm going to take you guys. All the way to Linden. We go in Linden. But we're not going Linden the way the PPP took people to Linden. The PPP tell people pack the bag, jump in a bus and all kind of things. Pay people 5 and 10,000. That's what people doing now. They're paying you if you go Kokwani. They're paying you if you go Linden. They're paying you if you go all over. But I want to ask Lemon, who is sitting in Studio A. Lemon, good night. How are you?
Yeah, good evening to all of our listeners.
Yeah, good night, Lemon. How are you? Put some energy in that swank, man. Good night.
Yeah, yes, good evening to all of our listeners.
All right.
107.1 FM.
Yeah, you celebrated your birthday yesterday. Happy birthday. Hope you had fun. But we're not here to talk about your birthday and these sort of things. What's your take on elections on the ground? Talk to us quickly, Lemon.
Well, I think that the people have to go out and vote and put their X next to the rights of the people. Not those corrupt people or those sanctioned people. Vote smart.
Okay.
I would be here on the ground too.
Are you going to? Oh, you said you're going to be on the ground, so you're taking time.
Yes, covering thing live.
Covering, right? So Lemon is going to be in Guyana for elections, covering things live. Is there anything else you wish to say to the Guyanese people before you get back to work about how they should go out and be prepared to vote or something, whatever you want to say?
Well, everybody just go and register and go out and vote. Vote to the rights of the people and vote smart. Be smart. Don't let those corrupt people, bribe you to vote for them. Vote smart. If you want to take a bribe, take their money and vote against them.
But nobody. We know the PPP, and we heard other individuals are paying people and corrupting people and so forth. But if it's one of the things that we would want to do is not to encourage the bribery, but what we want to do is to let people be smart during the course of the elections. There are folks like PPP folks and others. They will come around you and they will hand out money. They will hand out money, dish out the money and so forth.
Well,
be smart.
If they want to give you the money, take the money. But don't vote for them. Be
smart. So now,
Yes.
Lemon, as you looked at that so-called PPP crowd in Linden, because they had no crowd, what was your take about that fake crowd that the PPP talk about?
Well, to be honest, there were no crowd there. I see that a bus load of people bust into Linden, and I'm not taking it serious at all. Linden people, they not went out there to support them. So,
what's your message to the people before you go back to work?
My message to the people: go out and vote for the right party, the right set of people.
All right.
Not the corruptions.
You can't vote for corruption. You can't vote from corruption to corruption. You can't do that. You can't vote from vagabonds to vagabonds.
I be there trying to encourage the people to vote when I get down there.
All right. Thank you so much, Lemon. That's a sign that he'll be taking the week off. Lemon, we'll have live coverage from Lemon in Guyana. Lemon will finally show his face, and we will be broadcasting from Georgetown. We will be broadcasting from Linden, from Quarantine. I'm not sure if you've gone to Quarantine, but what's going on the Quarantine and New Amsterdam and those places, Lemon?
Well, New Amsterdam is APNU. Definitely, I know that. But the Quarantine, I don't know too much about the Quarantine. And when I get down there, I will try to go to Quarantine and see what's going on there.
All right. Thank you so much, Lemon. Hope you enjoyed your birth anniversary yesterday. Not sure if you're in your 70s as yet. Sure. Or 60s.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much for all the birthday wishes, and thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Lemon, there for you guys. We appreciate your time. So as we move on with the program tonight, I want us to go to all the way. I want us to go to Linden, guys. Here's what I want us to go to Linden.
Linden, make some noise. Linden, if you love me, make some noise.
There's something about the corrupt PPP regime. Everywhere they go is disaster. Every single where they go is disaster. They're running the country, it's disaster. Office of the president is disaster. Every ministry they got, disaster. The police force, disaster. The Guyana Defense Force, disaster. All sort of things. The Guyana Prison Service, disaster. The business community, for the most part, disaster. Every single thing they go into your community is disaster. Take a listen to this guy. Days ago, Fat Bite.
Irrigation system in this community is better. It's better today because you have a government who already puts the people first. And the people...
A government that puts the people first? Drainage and irrigation? Do these people know? They're probably talking about around by the cathedral drains and drainage and irrigation. Maybe that sort of drainage and irrigation they're talking about. They couldn't be talking about real drainage and irrigation under the Burnham government. Talk about Forbes Burnham. They love to cuss Forbes Burnham. But Forbes Burnham ensured that there were real drainage and irrigation. And the best years of rice farmers in Guyana, they were under the PNC. Under Forbes Burnham. But they got cuss Burnham. This is that anniversary, right? How many of y'all remember what year Burnham died? Burnham died dead and gone physically. But in the minds of the PPP regime is Burnham. Every single thing. Some of them chaps were never born yet. I got some friends, them picnic barn America, and they would tell you how they punish under Burnham. They never live in Guyana. Them born America, but they tell you Burnham starve Abby. I said, why you ever go Guyana? See, this is a true story, you know. Never went to Guyana, born over here, but Burnham starved them, right? You think some of these guys easy? They're not easy, you know. They're not easy. 40 plus years or 40 years Burnham died. Since 1985. I remember I was a little boy. I can't tell you how little. When Burnham died. It's like the village stopped. The village stopped. Things stopped. The entire nation mourned. Of course, Chedi and them probably was smiling. But what Burnham did for Guyana, these vagabonds couldn't even dream of doing it for the 28 years they, the corrupt PPP regime, have been in office. Look at all the things Burnham left and hand the country over. The PPP destroyed all of those things. Drainage and irrigation, them I talk about, destroyed. Drainage and irrigation, destroyed. How many of you know Guyana Rice Board? It used to be GRB, Blackbush Polder, and all of the rice mills flourishing. The ordinary rice farmers were respected. They took their paddy and they took the paddies to the rice millers, and the rice millers give them, for the most part, good. At Wim, I believe at Wim they had Bodan rice mill. At Hockstyle they had Hack rice mill, and so forth and so on. And those millers could not rob the ordinary people. If Burnham and Burnham folks, if they knew of any rice miller robbing the ordinary farmers, trouble in their tail. That's how it was then. But the PPP regime not care about that. Rice millers robbing poor rice farmers, robbing them left, right, and center. And nobody cares about the rice farmers. The drainage and irrigation run dunk under the corrupt PPP regime. Billions of dollars gone to waste in the pockets of their friends. It gone all over. It gone upon wigs. It gone upon lipstick. It gone in the bank. They got rid of Guy Bank, but they took your tax-paying dollars to other banks. East Bank, West Bank, Harry Banks, all other banks, they took your money. They wasted your money. That is what the corrupt PPP regime has done. There is no legacy for these guys. The only legacy Jack Dave and them will leave behind is hundreds of people who were slaughtered, who were murdered, tons upon tons of cocaine shipped out of the country. Death squads, a corrupt police force, corrupt GDF, and now I'm not painting everyone with the same brush and so forth, right? In the police force or the Guyana Defense Force. But all the PPP wants is corruption, and that's the legacy they're leaving. Jack David leaving no proper legacy. What legacy he leaving? $200 million stolen for a white elephant sugar factory? You know what that money could have done to sugar workers? Look at what they've done with their hydro. What is it? Amelia Falls hydro project. Hundreds of millions of US dollars wasted, went into the pockets of those corrupt PPP vagabonds. That's the legacy they're talking about. But they like to talk about Burnham. Now, Burnham wasn't perfect, but he was a darn good leader. The best thus far. The best. And some of them are running wrong now. They're hundreds of years behind. But let me say this about Burnham. Kanji River Bridge, Quarantine Highway, Linden to Georgetown, Linden Soosdijk Highway, the housing schemes, You name it. All these different areas were developed. All these areas were developed. Those of you who know why I'm saying developed, they were developed under Burnham. Call the people them in Blackbush, Maybe Curie, Johanna. All over in Blackbush, the best years of the farmers. People became millionaires. The ordinary man became millionaires by farming. Under the PPP, people became millionaires and billionaires, not by honest work. Take a look at them. They had to smuggle something. Some smuggle cocaine, some smuggle fuel, some smuggle gold. They smuggle. This is a smuggling regime. They smuggle and smuggle and smuggling. The biggest set of drug lords under the PPP regime. Why when the PNC or coalition, when they're in office, Guyana is a different place. It's like you walk the street and you could breathe again. You can walk Georgetown and you're able to breathe again. It's nice. It's clean. It's well put together. You go around the, Liripinter Cemetery there, you could breathe again. Even in death, people could lie down and sleep in peace. Not under the PPP regime. No. It's either they don't keep the place clean, Liripinter Cemetery. How many of you remember the days you going through Cemetery Road, you got to put a towel around your nose and all sorts of things? How many of you? A lot of you were silent until crazy guy Freddie and I took a position. And we spent 3 nights at Brickdam just for taking that position. And it was a horrible 3 nights because Freddie cried like a little girl. All night Freddie cried. Freddie braced up against a wall and hands down hiding, and he had to hide because I know what happened. But he cried like a little girl. Cry. He vowed that he's not going to go out and protest again. And a day like today, he has embraced the oppressors. How can you justify these Pacos embracing the oppressors for little crumbs, little money, little contracts? They don't care about Guyana. You can't tell me you are a human rights activist because these days everybody's an activist. Everybody's a political activist, human rights. This thing become like a joke. It's like a joke. You can't be a human rights activist and supporting people who have violated your rights. I don't know, something in right. But Burnham took Guyana on the right track. Free education from 1976. It doesn't matter, but before that, back to the drainage and irrigation. It doesn't matter your area. It doesn't matter whether you're a Muslim, a Hindu, a Christian, a Rastafarian. It doesn't matter. All areas were well kept. All areas were taken care of. People got rich under Burnham. 99% under the right way. They farm, and not just one set of people. Farmers were everybody, whether they were African Guyanese, Indian Guyanese, that I'm aware of. Lots of them were farmers, and they made money. Their houses, they put on second story, and once the crops coming in, they go Portmorant Market, they go Skellen Market, they go Amsterdam Market, or wherever else. And then they build it, they stop, they put on a veranda, they put on another post, they go concrete, and that is how we know people got rich. Under Burnham. Under Jack Day, guess how people get rich? You smuggle this, you smuggle that. You smuggle gold, you smuggle oil, you become drug lords. That's the legacy the corrupt PPP Jack Day will be leaving behind. That's the legacy. But Burnham legacy, they can't match it. And that is why for 40 years, Bear Burnham they on their mind. Jack Day going to sleep tonight with Burnham on his mind, and he go out tomorrow morning and he go talk about Burnham, and he go try to talk about rigging. But then again, these chaps in the PNC now, they got to fight back. They got to fight back and stand up for their record. They got to stand up for their founding leader record. The record is unmatched. Even without oil money, unmatched. They talk about extrajudicial killings under Burnham. Look, when I was growing up on the quarantine, there was one one guy, first time I heard of a guy, well, the police, the death squad, they call him the death squad police then. They went after a guy named Lewis. Now, don't be fooled by the name Lewis. Lewis was an Indian Guyanese brother from a place called Kilmarnock on the quarantine. And Lewis had everybody in lockdown. Everybody in lockdown. Lewis was said to have killed out a couple of people. A guy by the name of Dripal. Can't remember his first name, but from Kilmarnock village as well. Not Dianarine, Oscar Dianarine, sorry. Oscar Dianarine. I remember Oscar, Uncle Oscar. And so the killing started where Lewis allegedly chopped up. And I recall we were going to school that morning in a bus, a Cayo bus. Those of you who remember, that's the first time I saw somebody chopped up into pieces by Lewis. And then the death squad came out looking for Lewis. Everybody had to be in their house, locked up by 5 o'clock, locked up. And the police went after. And we were little boys then. And some of you who are watching, if Clyde and Leroy and others from Philippi and Kilmarnock and Cromarty area and Tarlagy and so forth. And so the death squad guys went looking for Lewis, and Lewis had them busy. But they cornered Lewis in a house at Farm. And Farm is between Maida and Bushlat. That's on the quarantine. And so they cornered Lewis. And Lewis was said to have, I heard the older boys in the village saying that he put up a white flag. He surrendered. And when they reached the number 19 toll station, we heard some of the other boys them in the village say that they killed him. The police killed him. And so that was the talk then. As a little boy, I heard that. The police killed him. I don't know whether that was true or not. But that was the first killing, alleged killing that I heard. But Lewis probably died by gunshot wounds because he was busting shots at the police. The police had to fire back, protect themselves and to protect the community. Don't get me wrong. Because if you shoot at the police and the police shoots back at you and you die in that process, it is fair game. But the point I'm trying to make, not to say that I have memories like an elephant, right? But it's to say that extrajudicial killings was basically unheard of under Burnham's government, under the PNC. It became the order of the day under Jack Dave's presidency. And it continues under Irfan Ali's presidency with Jack Dave in the seat. So all of these things that they talk about Burnham and the PNC, there's hardly any evidence for that. They love to talk about the PNC rig elections. Oh, Father God. Well, I don't know, a little by, but the evidence that I know of that we have seen is that the PPP makes rigging looks like nothing in Guyana, makes rigging of elections look like nothing, absolutely nothing in Guyana. They're rigged for tea, breakfast, and dinner. And that is why Jack Davis is saying now that he thinks that they're going to win by a landslide, because he knows that they're setting up to rig and rig and rig and rig and rig again. Now, even under Burnham's government, Lyndon was like, y'all know I can't talk about quarantine and leave Lyndon out. I love Georgetown too. We spent some time as little kids at Georgetown. And we used to, a relative that we spent some time at O'Shaw Street in Queenstown. As little boys, we used to walk out in the gutters. And I'm talking about in the 80s. Was it late 70s, early 80s? We would walk and look down in the gutter and we see them fish running. That was Guyana. That was under Forbes Burnham. You walk the streets, there were lights, and it was so beautiful. And then Georgetown became so corrupt and nasty under the PPP regime, where they starved the city council billions of dollars. They owe the city council. They don't pay the city council so that they could improve the lives of the workers, pay the workers properly, and clean the goddamn city. The dirtiest years of Georgetown, the capital city of Guyana, were under the corrupt PPP regime. Take a look at it now, but take a look at it when the coalition got into office from 2015 to 2020. It was a big difference, mind you. So when you go out and you vote, as you prepare to vote on September 1st, vote with a lot of good memories in your mind. How Guyana was when the PPP wasn't in office. Those were the best years. I remember school, you get free breakfast, you jump in the bus, you go to school. Now, kids going to school and they're falling down. Kids going to school and they got to get long water, swank, corrupt food mixed up with all sorts of things because of corruption in the Ministry of Education, giving out contracts to their friends and their cronies. That is what's happening, guys. Now let's go to Linden. Just talking about Linden, beautiful. It used to be like a little New York back in those days. If you're sweetie or your mitai or your chicken foot, let me see how many of you know what we really mean by chicken foot. Your chicken foot fall on the ground with the sour. You're picking it up. It was so beautiful, man. But look at how the PPP wrecked not only Linden, they wrecked Guyana, Ituni, and Kokwani and those places. Even the animals used to bathe back then. Clean, 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 clean. Even the ducks and all sorts of things. Clean, clean, clean. That's the sort of country. That's the sort of environment. Those are the sort of communities. People live happily together, but no stress. All the PPP bring in is mere stress upon stress upon stress. It's like people can't take it no more and they can't survive under the PPP regime. Because instead of the billions going back into the communities, they're giving their friends, is not only their friends who robbing, so-called businessmen robbing the nation of billions of dollars in taxes. The PPP officials facilitated their friends and cronies. Don't be fooled. But these officials in the PPP are thieving, stealing and depriving you, the taxpayers, of a better life in Guyana. For them, the better life is basically to thief your tax dollars and put it in their family's pocket, their friend's pocket, their sweet woman pocket, their little buy that what they get pockets and all sort of. That is how they're running the country. And that is what you have to vote against come September 1st.
Oh, Jesus Christ, if cost of living double, I don't know what happened. A pound of sugar is $300 already. Flour, everything gone up. Everything just raising. You gotta give a $40,000 for buy good ration. You gotta get 3 man now. A weekend man, a monthly man, and a fortnight man.
Just imagine if Burnham didn't die on August 6th, 1985. Just imagine. Turn to your neighbor and say, just imagine. Just imagine. Kanji Bridge, Demerara Harbor Bridge, all the roads, free education from nursery to university. Jagdeo and all of them benefited who wanted to go to school and things. All of them benefited. Jagdeo, all of them now turn Nimakaram. All of them turn Katahars and Koris. Them of course Burnham. But compared to what Burnham did for Guyana, and let's put Cherry alongside Burnham. There's no comparison. Let's put Jackie and come no way close. You throw them chops, them is what you call gutter leaders. Gutter leaders. All they could do is go in a community and throw a little gutter. They're gutter leaders. They're not worth it. They're not worthy of being called president and all these things. They're gutter leaders. They're hustlers, flatfoot hustlers. That is who they are. Let's go to Linden now. This Fat Boy. Let's go to Fat Boy. Listen to the lies of Fat Boy.
The irrigation system in this community is better. It's better today because you have a government who already puts the people first. And the people...
Drainage and irrigation, and you already have a government who puts... Oh, okay, now we understand. Fat Boy lying? But here what happened. As the people, the same chapo talking about drainage and irrigation, bang, zoom, right after that paid rally, where they bus hundreds of people into Linden, begging people, oh, the bus leaving in 30 minutes. Comrades, comrades, that's what they're saying. Comrades, comrades, right? Them people they in Russia, man. Comrades, y'all go by Seafields to find and catch the bus. Come on out, comrades. Comrades, you can't say I never tell y'all. And they calling, the begging people to jump on buses. Buses leave. Go take the buses. I saw some of them, enough of them from Georgetown. Enough of them from Georgetown, Bath Settlement and so forth. They jump in the big bus and they gone till to Linden. And they're waving the flag, yeah, 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 yeah. And they're blowing the blow, 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 blow. And they have that Paku named Bishop or Bishop Edgel, believing that he's a big Linden man now. I don't know which woman in Linden fooling he. Oops. Sorry, I should not have mentioned that, but it is what it is. I should not. But that guy who spoke that drainage and irrigation in Linden, all over Retrieve and them areas, flooded. And this is not the first time. Every single time the PPP goes to Linden is some sort of disaster. If it's not flooding, it's killing of the residents or people out there in Linden. And that is what they do. But yet you get these Pakus, fat by, and you get three of them, Stamaman them. I'm not making mockery of people who... It's those three guys. Have you guys heard from them recently? Have you heard from them? They gone into hiding. I heard two of them are no longer with the PPP. The other one cut out and gone Brazil, working in a restaurant in Brazil as a waiter. Nothing is wrong with that. People got to live. People got to survive. Two Stammerman stop support the PPP, and the other one, they're in Brazil working as a waiter in a cook shop called, for this, I can't even pronounce the name properly. Drainage and irrigation. And that one, Fat Bai, praising the PPP regime. There's something wrong with Fat Bai. He brain is not in his head. He brain in his guts. This other one here now. Listen to this other one.
Linden, make some noise!
Somebody said that he's trembling. Who talks and tremble? Who talks? The only way that you talk and you tremble is when you're nervous or when you know that you are talking something that is not truthful. It's like they force you. It's like they take something and they push it up in you, a little chip or something, and they send you out. Linden, make some noise.
Linden, make some noise. Linden, if you love me, make some noise.
And then Linden got flooded. Flood all over. Linden should make some noise. And boo these Pakus. Boo them. They have no influence in Linden. They cannot bring out the votes. They cannot rally people. But what they're going to do now, they're going to run quick. As soon as the flooding starting, they're going to run quick with little bleach and little detergent because it's a form of business. They love that because it's a form of business. They're going to get $1 million worth of bleach. You're going to go to some store and say, comrade, I need this, I need that. And then they're going to pick up the phone and say, this is what they did. They rush into the people that need blasted bleach and sweet smell and GS fluid. People don't need that. People need a proper system in place where, whether it's Retrieve or wherever, where the drainage are done, the drainage in those areas are done properly by experienced people, qualified individuals. Now, you cannot just go into the communities, and especially Linden we're talking about, and give every Tom, Dick, and Harry one little contract because you want to buy votes, because you don't mean well. If you continue to do that, then Linden will continue to be flooded. And the Pakus will continue to rush in with little Marvex and sweet smell and J's fluid and all these things. And it's wasting your tax dollars. All around your tax dollars being wasted. Because when the drainage and the irrigation or the drainage work, when they're not done properly, then it would lead to flooding. But if you take your time and ensure that these things are properly fixed, then you don't have the Pacus have to run in with J's fluid and detergent and so forth and so on. It's such a backward place under the PPP regime. Not that Linden is backward. Lots of beautiful people, lots of intelligent people came from Linden. Lots of loving people came from Linden, right? But the softies, a big man got up on stage and begging for love. Linden, if you love me, make some noise.
Linden, make some noise. Linden, if you love me, make some noise.
Make some noise. Linden, if you love me, make some noise. Somebody should play make a nice, put it on a turntable and mix it. Linden, if you love me, turn it into a chutney. Linden, if you love me, make some noise. If you not make noise. Anyways, guys, you guys know it's time for me to wrap up, right? September 1st around the corner. Don't let them Pacus fool you. Linden is in trouble. The entire Guyana is in trouble under the corrupt PPP regime. And these flat-foot hustlers are basically think that they can swar you. They're just there to collect little money and enjoy themselves, and maybe quietly they're telling their friends and cronies that they're just there for the money. But let them not think. Don't think that Jack Dave and Irfan don't know that they're there for the little crumbs. That is why they seduce them with the little crumbs, and the weaklings are able to be bought over. The weaklings, and I do mean.
In my opinion, the performance of the PPP government.
These people need some bilious wash, right? They need some bilious wash. I tell you, they actually do need some bilious wash. I gotta go. But before I go, let me thank all of you. I know we'll be back tomorrow, same place, same time. And let me say congratulations to my nephew. He moved from the corrections as a corrections officer. He's now an NYPD officer. He transitioned from there to the NYPD. Congratulations to Officer Adams, Shaquille, and all the other officers, all the other folks who graduated from the academy today at Madison Square Garden. It was a pleasure seeing my nephew embracing the now mayor of New York, Adams to Adams. Congratulations to all of those. Another officer in the family. We're proud of him, and we're proud of all others as well. Those are good policemen who will be promoted according to their works, not according to their politics. Quickly, before I go on the immigration front, lots and lots of things are happening, guys. Maybe one morning I should do a program just dedicated for that. But some of my clients are watching. Congratulations. Lots and lots of success stories for those who have gotten their green cards, their citizenship, and on their way to get their green cards. Some interviews coming up this week. All the best to those individuals. But for now, I'm out of here. God bless you as you prepare for, what is it? Elect, guys. Be prepared. Tomorrow morning from 5 o'clock, we have our show. That's a religious program with Apostle and Pastor Greenwich, Aubrey Greenwich, that is, yeah, Apostle. Say Aubrey, and I had to look around for a moment. I'm out of here, guys. God bless you. So long.
Yeah, my name is Jacinty Caldata Francis Vietnam, and since 1965, I become a voter. And I always place my ex next to the cop. And what they are doing today, I can't take it. So I have no more vote to give to PPP anymore. I'm not going to vote anymore no more. If they have to lose by one vote, they're losing it by data.
You could probably, on the maritime area, give Venezuela a channel out to the sea. So you make a slight concession in the maritime area.
government for the past 4 years. In fact, since it took office, has been nothing short of exceptional.
My name is Linden Shaka Tukumbo, Afro Wellington Bavarians. Carpool Police 21111, Station of Traffic Headquarters. I would like to take this time to thank the President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana for making this, is taking out this precious time to promote this ranks who need.
There and fabricate that. Unless you say who the person is, I can't comment on anonymous people.
Okay, well, let's talk about specific individuals. What is your relationship with Mr. Su Jurong?
Su? Oh, Su?
Imagine 18 hours of blackout, and you're telling people progress. Cost of living gone up 100%, yet you give public servant less. Mr. President, listen to the people, search your soul and you will confess. I want you try surviving on the public base, then you're gonna know but stress. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up. They don't drive no fair with the citizen. They may want the people speak out. Freedom of speech done gone inside the gutter. Knock off when you open your mouth. Discrimination in entertainment, and you're talking about one Guyana. When the Ministry of Culture keep the big shows, one set of girls and banner. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up. Every picture you take and promise you make, everything you do is about clouds. Then you come into me for I shake your hand, there's nothing to smile about. Corruption inside every sector, but when it comes to them they send you. Try investigate efficiency, right? Go talk to Barrett and Stu. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup, look how evil set up. The people fed up. Fed up on the dirty water, low pressure, want scream and tell somebody. Imagine 1500 US, and they're telling me super salary. I done fed up on the unemployment racism and the lie they say one Guyana. Cause when you look